How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to another trade recap video. So this wraps up Tuesday, September 20th, and I'm going to finish the day down $12.50. Now today there's a couple things I'm going to go over because there is really only a few tweaks that I needed to make to turn this from a small red day to relatively big green day. I mean, there was a couple mistakes that I made just in terms of hold time. So my first trade here was on VRAX. So this was this was our leading gapper this morning. It was up about 40% when the market opened on monkeypox. No, it wasn't vaccine. It was test kit. Yeah, some monkeypox test kit news. So that was the catalyst here. And didn't take any trades on it or anything else for the first 10-15 minutes of the day. Looking at the 1 minute chart here. And then when we ripped through VWAP here, this is when I got interested. So we ripped through VWAP after kind of fading off for the first few minutes of the day, first 15. And then looking at the 15-second chart here, my entry ended up being right here at 350 on this pullback. So we ripped through VWAP, and then we had this kind of overextension to the downside, is what it seemed like. So that's why I entered here at 350, kind of a panic sell to the downside. And then we ended up getting the small pop. We kind of had some hesitation. I saw more red print, and then right away I jumped out. It was like 1 or 2 cent winner with 1,000 shares. And then it ended up going before really making another move to the downside up to 370 here. So, I mean, I got in essentially at the bottom of this candle. So why am I not, if I feel like I need to sell a little bit because I'm getting sketched out here at 52, why not sell half? And then if it's going to come back down here, then sell the rest break even. I mean, I'm only, at that point risking such a small amount where I'm looking for the retest of hive candle or about that, maybe 60 or 70. And it did pretty much test that right there. So, yeah, right again there, that was right off the bat, could have been a better trade if I was just holding for a little bit longer. And the other trade I'm going to bring over actually from the live stream is on NRBO. Now, the leading gappers today were a little bit tough. We had nothing really held up super well. VRAX provided some of the best opportunity. We had MEDS as well that was gapped up. I traded, actually, no, I didn't take any trades on this one. Maybe gave a little opportunity here over this break, but no trades on that one. And then the two other stocks that ended up moving today that I took trades on, they started popping on no news, which is always, I'm a little bit skeptical of that right away. But the trade on NRBO, so this was the one that I really could have capitalized on if I had just watched a little bit more closely to the details. So blocks of red came in there, some selling, and that's where I got in there at 50. It was a great entry. So we flashed down to 33 on the bids for a second and then right back to 64. And from there, I got in, and I was expecting the red to green to happen really quickly, and there wasn't just enough volume to make it happen quickly. So you'll see, I ended up selling right there. So I'll play it through, and then I'll commentate on it. So resumption is just in a couple seconds here. Entry. And I exit right there. And then it rips $2 a share. So, if you look at the time in sales, this is what I messed up. So I got in here when the block of red came in. Then we had green come through, more green. Then only one block, and I sold right there as more green started to print on the tape. And as soon as I did, here you can see submit right there. The second that I do, we have these orders come through. And then look at the bid price right here at 2064. 65, there's 2109, 2120, 58, 80. Boom, there's $1.20 a share from where I hit the sell button at. So, yeah, it was a tiny green trade. I made like 12 bucks on it because I got filled at 54 on the entry and I got filled at 62 on the exit. So it was an 8-cent trade, and it really could have been $1. And right here, then we have kind of a micro pullback to 21, and that gets bought up. There's 22. I mean, so yeah, I definitely left, I'd say, the most on the table on this stock. And then the other thing we had today was on AMPX, and AMPX is what I ended up down on the day. So I was up small green until AMPX. So this one, now the one thing that I did do right on it was I was aware of the risk on it, and it was moving on no catalyst. So again, I'm a little skeptical on that right away. So I had smaller share size, which was good that I dumbed down my share size. because it was lower float. Like I said, no news. So that was what I did right on it. But again, I had another trade on it right in this section, and maybe it's something that I should find from the stream, but let's go over it real quickly. Where we had it rip here into a halt. So we faded off of this move here, and then we ripped up into a halt. I didn't take any trades with the resumption. It looked a little sketchy, but what happened is we held up highly here. We didn't end up fading down towards VWAP. We just consolidated off the resumption, which is bullish. And I wasn't paying as much of attention to that marker as I should have been. And then we broke out here. I ended up getting a nice entry at 75, looking for the break of 11. I was in here at 75, and we kind of went up to 11 and looked like it was going to bounce off it, and I sold at like 90. So it was like an 18-cent winner. And I think that was my first trade on the stock, actually, was that trade. And then ended up ripping without me. So we got the continuation right here and the extension up to $12. So right there, 3 trades that were super small winners that should have been, they completed my thesis, and that should have been green. I just needed to hold a little bit longer. The one thing that I will say is I've been doing a bit of a better job cutting my losses quick, but that kind of goes hand in hand, where cutting them too quickly can result in them, that I'm not going to be, I'm limiting my upside potential if I'm cutting too quick to the upside or the downside. And I think that's going to wrap it up here. So I'm going to close the day down $12.50 again. Just a couple of tweaks that I'm going to try to be making over these next couple of weeks, and it's going to happen, and it's going to be worth it when it does. So until then, as always, it's been another good recap. I'll be back with the stream. I'll be back tomorrow with another recap. Hopefully we'll get some more opportunity, and I'm out of here. Later.